I will vote. Vote Donald Trump. I will vote. Vote Donald Trump. Events cancelled. Events cancelled. Why is this orange man always love to trick people? Why will you invite an artist to a show and they were thinking they were coming to celebrate a different thing, not knowing that you have your own agenda as MAGA agenda? And out of the 9 artists that are supposed to come and make the place more glamorous, they cancelled. Hello, guys, they cancelled. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. With that being said, let's dive right into this video. I'll be back with commentaries.
Donald Trump has just canceled the Freedom 250 Great American State Fair after every musical performer except Vanilla Ice quit once they found out that it was a Trump event. They were lied to and deceived. They believed it was the America 250 event, not the Freedom 250 event. And once they learned it was the Freedom 250 event, which is the Trump propaganda event, each one of those performers quit. So now Donald Trump said, the event is over. And instead of the musical acts, I'm going to be holding a rally and the event will just be a deranged Trump event. Donald Trump posted the following message. He said that a lot of these musical acts have the yips, he said. He said, I understand artists are getting the yips having to do with their performance on Wednesday, so I'm thinking about bringing the #1 attraction anywhere in the world, the man who gets much larger audiences than Elvis in his prime, and he does so without a guitar, the man who loves our country more than anyone else, and the man who some say is the greatest president in history, the GOAT, Donald J. Trump, to take the place of these highly paid third-rate artists and give a major speech rallying the country forward like I have done ever since being president 2 years ago. The United States was dead. Pause there for a second. So he's calling the artists who he invited to the event third-rate. He's saying that he brings bigger crowds than Elvis, and he goes on to say that he's giving another one of these deranged Trump rallies. He then says, now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. Pause. We have the hottest inflation right now that keeps going up, up, up. He goes, I don't want so-called artists that get paid far too much money who aren't happy. I only want to be surrounded by happy people, smart people, successful people, and people that know how to win. So, by copy of this truth, I am ordering my representatives to look at the feasibility of doing an America is Back rally on Wednesday, Washington, D.C. Same time, same location. Only great patriots invited. It will be wild and beautiful. Celebration of America, Donald J. Trump. And then shortly thereafter, Donald Trump posted again about canceling this Freedom 250 State Fair concert. And here's what he writes. He goes, we should have a giant Make America Great Again rally for 250 instead of having overpriced singers who nobody wants to hear, whose music is boring, and yet who do nothing but complain. Cancel it. Just like I canceled my involvement with the failing and unsafe to be in Kennedy Center because a highly conflicted, crooked federal judge said that I should not be allowed to spend my time and money in order to make the center great again, actually far greater than it ever was before. It would have also been nice to see the Republican-Democrat union bring it to life. The Kennedy Center is broken, unsafe, and $ busted and has been for many years. Judge Cooper also stated that the highly prestigious board of the center was not authorized to add the name Trump, despite the fact that hundreds of millions of dollars of my time and money will be necessary for its successful reincarnation. So now the Kennedy Center will collapse, both structurally and financially. Judge Cooper and his wife, and he gives the wife's name, should be ashamed of themselves. Judge Cooper, like numerous other crooked judges on my case, should be impeached. Make America great again. Donald J. Trump. I wonder why people don't want to be at this music event.
We have an update. Donald Trump is going to be so pissed. So the all-star performers at the Great American State Fair have been dropping out like flies. And well, now Martina McBride and Bret Michaels have both dropped out. But listen to what they have to say. Okay, so this was the statement she dropped, but listen to this. I was presented with an opportunity to perform at a nonpartisan event, but that turned out to be misleading. I asked lots of questions and was assured this was a nonpartisan event that was meant to celebrate all 50 states. In my mind, I thought this was a great way to celebrate the states and also bring people together in the way that only music can. Sounds like fun, right? Wholesome even. Yesterday, things started changing, and what we were told is in fact not what is happening. Now listen to Bret Michaels. When this opportunity was originally presented to my team, it was described as a celebration of our country through music and a chance to honor our veterans, yada, yada, yada. Unfortunately, what was presented to us as a celebration of our country has evolved into something much more divisive than what I agreed to be a part of. Very similar statement. And it sounds like both of them were misled. So 3 out of the 9 are still on. And it says many more. Could it be Nikki? Is she going to come out saying, you a stupid hoe, you a stupid hoe? Because I don't know if conservatives want to be listening to her music on stage. They were up in arms when they saw Megan Thee Stallion performing at a Kamala event and she was twerking, which she wasn't. But I just have one more thing to say. Let freedom ring.
Hey y'all, happy June 1st. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope y'all did all the things for the blue moon and manifesting all good energy and stuff for this month. Prosperity, abundance, all the good things. I took a few days because sometimes you need that, but it's the beginning of the month. And so why not start it off with saga continuing with this Freedom 250 concert? Let's get into it. So as we know, people have been falling off the Trump, America, Freedom, whatever the hell you want to call it, 250 concert like nobody's business. And the funny part about it is the people that were on there would not be considered A-list at this point in time. But the people that they had, they were booked, right? Under false pretenses, but they were booked. But Sunday, Trump called to cancel the concert because so many artists have withdrawn. Like I said the other day, we had 2 and a possible only left on the bill. At that point, why are you still having the concert? So now he's asking for it to be withdrawn. But as usual with him, he gonna make it be what it's not really. So as you can see here, he called for the cancellation of the concert and basically said, instead of having overpriced singers who nobody wants to hear, whose music is boring and yet who do nothing but complain, this is hilarious because y'all book these people. So you claim nobody wants to hear their music, sir, but your team booked them. So somebody wanted to hear it. Maybe y'all were just booking whoever you thought you could get, and y'all lied to these people and their management, and now y'all look ridiculous because nobody wanted to show up. So you got to make it look like it was just them. He said, cancel it, just like I canceled my involvement with the failing and unsafe to be in Kennedy Center because of highly conflicted crooked federal judges. I mean, this man really, he should be a comedian at this point because the way he be making up stuff and putting things together. So because he's basically saying, cancel this concert and also cancel the Kennedy Center as I cancel my involvement. No, you didn't. A judge told your ass you had no legal authority to do what you were doing, but you gonna make it as if you canceled it. And I literally sit here and I think, y'all voted for this. Y'all really voted for this. I would feel like the stupidest person on the fucking planet if I listened to this man and believed him and voted for him. It is hilarious. So then he continues to go on. He calling these people third-rate artists and that they're trash. But again, you booked them third-rate artists, sir. You know why? Because you couldn't get no first-rate artists. You booked the third-rate artist on a pretense of a lie, which means you can't even get third-rate artists to come perform for you. What does that say? Mr. Everybody Loves Me and I'm the most popular president. What does that say? So now instead of that, he's going to give a major speech. It's going to be bigly. I believe everything starts within the next week or so. So Watch for the big Lee speech. It's a fucking mess.
Okay, just watch this. The most shocking part? Every major musical act from Martina McBride and Young MC to Morris Day and the Time, CNC Music Factory, and more bailed on Trump's Freedom 250. Great American State Fair, the second they realized they'd been lied to and it was actually a Trump propaganda event, not the nonpartisan America 250 celebration they signed up for. Trump immediately canceled the concert, called the artist third rate with the yips, and announced he'd replace them with the real main attraction, himself, the man who draws bigger crowds than Elvis, the greatest president ever, the GOAT. He turned it into yet another deranged MAGA rally full of AI images of himself on horses with George Washington, kissing the flag, and on Mount Rushmore, while attacking crooked judges by name and threatening impeachment. What was supposed to be a unifying national birthday party became another narcissistic Trump spectacle, exposing the whole thing as a self-serving con from the start. Artists were right to walk away.
So Donald Trump just got the final nail in his coffin. And no, not from Democrats, from Milli Vanilli. Stay with me. The Freedom 250 concert canceled. Every single performer quit. Not because of politics, because they say they were defrauded, told they were playing a nonpartisan American celebration. Turns out it was a Trump propaganda fest. One by one, they walked. But here's where it gets embarrassing. Milli Vanilli, the band famous for not even singing their own songs, quit. Then, get this, a founding member went on CNN and quit after the event was already canceled. You are the President of the United States, and Milli Vanilli quit on you twice. That's not losing the culture. That's losing time itself. Even the top MAGA influencers are laughing. Matt Walsh, yes, that Matt Walsh, said he's pretty pissed at how badly they bungled this. Quote, they tried to invite Milli Vanilli and a bunch of other absurdly washed-up geriatric one-hit wonders. Then they converted it into a Trump rally where he'll talk about himself for 90 minutes. He's not wrong. America's 250th birthday should have been a celebration, became another Trump speech. But wait, there's fuel on the National Mall, 30 gallons, from a Freedom 250 pre-event, seeped into the irrigation system. Event organizers say vandalism, but here's the question. If this happened under any other administration, who pays for the cleanup? The organizers, not the National Park Service looking the other way. And this is the same administration that wants $1.5 million per ticket for a UFC fight at the White House. Not a typo. $1.5 million sent to right-wing oligarchs in a private deck for the honor of watching fights while military members stand there as props. They also said, direct quote, they don't want fatties at the event. 5'9" with a 35-inch waist, you're out. That's where we are. America's 250th anniversary, a World Cup, a UFC event, all falling apart. All becoming about one person. You ever stop and ask yourself, why can't anything just be normal anymore? Why does a birthday party turn into a rally? Why do tickets cost $1.5 million? Why is Milli Vanilli the moral compass? Here's the thing they don't want you to say out loud. The country's birthday shouldn't be about him. The World Cup shouldn't be about him. A concert shouldn't need a fraud investigation. But here we are. Drop a no if you remember when celebrations weren't political rallies, and follow for more. Let me tell you what just happened in Washington. Trump organized a massive national celebration for America's 250th birthday, called it Freedom 250. Big stage, big names, big promises. And then every single performer quit. Not one, not two, every single one. Martina McBride, Morris Day and the Time, the Commodores, Young MC, Bret Michaels, they all walked. Now here's where it gets interesting. These artists didn't quit because they hate America. They quit because they were lied to. Each one of them was told this was a nonpartisan event, a celebration of 250 years of American history. No politics, no party, just the country. That's what they were told. What they weren't told, Trump was the chair. The leadership team was MAGA Mike Johnson, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Tim Scott. Every single person running this nonpartisan event was a Trump loyalist. That's the problem. So one by one, they found out. One by one, they left. Martina McBride said she asked multiple questions and was specifically assured it was nonpartisan. Young MC said he literally didn't see the Trump connection until 2 days before the event. They weren't invited to a celebration. They were recruited as props. And when they refused to be props, Trump called them third-rate artists, said they have the yips, said he draws bigger crowds than Elvis without a guitar. Those were his words. Think about that for a second. You lie to performers to get them on stage. They find out the truth and leave. And your response is to insult them publicly and announce you're replacing a music festival with a political rally. Here's the twist nobody's talking about. This wasn't a mistake. This was always the plan. The music was never the point. The artists were going to be the backdrop. The rally was always going to happen. The only difference now is the curtain dropped early. And even Matt Walsh, one of Trump's most loyal voices, came out and said they bungled this completely. When you lose Matt Walsh on optics, you've genuinely miscalculated. Now, the Kennedy Center is also in play. A federal judge just ruled Trump cannot put his name on the building. Trump responded by predicting the Kennedy Center will, quote, collapse, both structurally and financially. He's threatening a national cultural institution because a judge ruled against him. Here's my question for you. When a president turns a nonpartisan anniversary celebration into a campaign rally, what does that tell you about how he sees the country? As something to serve or something to perform for? Drop your answer below, because this conversation is just getting started.
You're all going to want to hear this. It breaks my heart. Think we would all come together for the 250-year anniversary of America. But no, nobody wants to come together. They're going to cancel it. Trump said cancel it. After all these artists start canceling. Oh, I don't want to do it. I'm afraid of politics. I'm afraid of that. It's our celebration of freedom of America for 250 years. I say don't cancel it. I say get coming up artists. Let coming up artists play. We don't need these celebrities. I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of them. They believe that their word is better than everybody else's. I'm fed up with them. Let them stay the hell home. We can still celebrate it. Hell with them. Get up and coming artists to play in it. Okay? Get people from TikTok. Get people from social media. We don't need these celebrities, and they're starting to find that out. They're starting to find that out. We don't need them. No way should this be canceled. No way.
So Donald Trump is freaking out again, this time because 7 out of 9 singers coming to the celebration on the Mall for the 4th of July have canceled. Why did they cancel? Because Trump tricked them into coming to what they thought was a bipartisan, objective celebration of America, but was actually a Trump organization, a MAGA group. So what happened was there was America 250, which was quite literally an objective, independent, bipartisan, congressionally established group to celebrate the nation's 250th anniversary. Well, that was okay. Trump then set up Freedom 250, which was this weird MAGA partisan group that he set up to push I don't know what. Well, he invited all the singers to come to the National Mall for this Freedom 250, and they thought, oh, this is nice. It's the 4th of July celebration. No, it was Trump's weird little MAGA thing. Now, why Trump needed a MAGA thing, we don't know. Well, we do know. He wanted to push himself. But he tweeted this weekend, furious now that all the performers have quit. We should have a giant Make America Great Again rally for 250 instead of having overpriced singers who nobody wants to hear, whose music is boring, and yet who do nothing but complain. Cancel it. Just like I canceled my involvement with the failing and unsafe to be in Kennedy Center because a highly conflicted, crooked federal judge said that I should not be allowed to spend my time and money in order to make the center great again, actually far greater than it ever was before. Trump is also freaking out because Friday, the anniversary, John F. Kennedy's birthday, the judge waited and said Trump had to remove his name from the Kennedy Center. So he said, I'm taking my money and going. He's pretending he gave hundreds of millions of dollars to the Kennedy Center. He didn't, of course. But he's saying, I'm going to go. I'm not going to even fix it at all. It's dangerous. My favorite part was, I love America too much that I just can't be here if you're going to leave the Kennedy Center in dangerous condition. So he says he's going to turn the Kennedy Center over to Congress. He's going to order the Commerce Department to give the Kennedy Center as an independent organization. It's got an independent board. It's, affiliated with the government, so to speak, but it's totally independent. He's going to give it to Congress and they can deal with it now. Anyway, so this is pretty funny. Yeah, so Trump's thing is imploding out. It's funny. It's not funny, really. This is the 250th anniversary of our country. I remember the 200th anniversary. I was a kid at that point, and it was fun, and it was neat. And I even recorded the church bells going off at noon on that day. I still got the recording. It was very cool. Why does Donald Trump have to make it about him? Why does he have to make everything about him? Why did he have to turn this into a party? There's events going on around the country, wonderful events to celebrate our birthday, and Trump had to hijack the one in Washington. He couldn't have left the objective group, the independent group either. He had to hijack it and make it all about him, so the whole thing has imploded like it always does with Donald Trump. Yeah, best showman ever. Yeah. Do follow and share. Thanks, guys.
President Trump is now calling for the cancellation of the major concert series that he was holding for America's 250th birthday celebration after so many musicians backed out of the event. In a Truth Social post he posted last night, Trump said to cancel it and that it should actually be replaced with what he called a giant MAGA rally. He criticized the performers as overpriced singers whose music is boring and claimed that nobody wants to see them. We're talking about the Great American State Fair, which is supposed to be a 16-day exposition scheduled to take place on the National Mall in front of the White House as part of the nation's semi-quincentennial celebrations. Organizers had announced a lineup of 9 musical acts, but at least 5 have since withdrawn. And what's extra weird is how several artists have actually said that they were never even told that the event was connected to anything having to do with President Trump or his administration. Country singer Martina McBride said that she had agreed to perform what she believed was a nonpartisan celebration before learning essentially otherwise. Bret Michaels, who is the frontman of Poison, said that the event had become much more divisive than he originally signed up for. The Commodores, Young MC, and Morris Day and the Time have also since pulled out, and Trump initially suggested an alternative rather than outright cancellation, replacing the performers with himself. In an earlier Truth Social post, he described himself as the #1 attraction anywhere in the world and claimed that he draws larger crowds than Elvis Presley did in his prime. Trump said that he wanted aides to explore the possibility of an America is Back rally, where he would deliver a major speech. Behind the scenes, the rollout appears to have triggered frustration within the administration. According to the New York Times, a senior administration officials described the handling of artist invitations as a mess and suggested someone could be fired over this controversy. But not everybody has backed out. Vanilla Ice, for instance, says that he does still plan to perform, telling TMZ that the concert should not be political and that he performs for fans regardless of politics. 2 other acts, Flo Rida and CNC Music Factory, had not publicly confirmed whether they would remain in the lineup. This dispute comes just weeks before the celebration is scheduled to begin and has transformed what was intended to be a national birthday event into yet another political flashpoint, one that apparently nobody in music wants to have anything to do with.
Why are so many musical acts canceling their appearance at the celebration of the 250th birthday party of the United States of America? It was just a few days ago that Freedom 250, that's the name of the public-private partnership putting together these events at what they're calling the Great American State Fair on the National Mall, events surrounding the 4th of July. They just announced the slate just a few days ago. But since then, Young MC now you know what to do, G, bust a move. Busted a move out of the event, saying in a statement, quote, "The artists were never told about any political involvement with the event," noting that Freedom 250 has been described as Trump-backed, which does distinguish Freedom 250 from America 250, which is the bipartisan, congressionally authorized group that is supposed to also be running events commemorating the 250th birthday. But there is a perception, at least, that Freedom 250 is more partisan and more pro-Trump. Hence, country singer Martina McBride will not be celebrating Independence Day on the National Mall. She said that she originally had been told that this would be a nonpartisan event meant to celebrate all 50 states, but, quote, "What we were told is in fact not what is happening." Same thing with the Commodores. Whether or not it was an easy decision, they too are hitting the exits. Bret Michaels, Morris Day and The Time. More of the groups announced the other day are not performing anymore than still are, though Vanilla Ice says he will be there, presumably rocking the mic like a vandal, lighting up the stage, wax a chump like a candle. I'm old enough to remember America's 200th birthday in 1976, and that was a time that it did seem, I mean, I was young, I was 7, but it did seem like the country came together to celebrate and put aside the differences. Frankly, a lot of Americans think that President Trump is governing in a very partisan way and focusing on himself, not the country as a whole. Hence that $250 bill being proposed with his face on it. The more these celebrations can be nonpartisan, bipartisan, the more then people can come together, and that unity is tough to come by these days. Girl, you know it's true. Girl, you know it's true. I forgot to say the surviving frontman from Milli Vanilli says he will be performing.
Anyways, thank you so much for joining, and I hope you guys enjoyed all of that clip I was able to roll out for you guys. And credit to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. Can you just be honest for once? This orange man, can you just be honest for once? That is why it's looking more like a lot of people are choosing. They are choosing Obama, honestly, over you. I'm not saying Obama did not have his own flaws. I'm not saying Obama did not do any single mistake, but when it comes to sincerity, at least, can you be sincere just like Obama? You don't understand leadership. Can you ask Obama to explain what leadership is all about to you? Because let it make sense to me that you have a MAGA agenda, but you kept it aside and told the artists that were supposed to come perform that you were celebrating Freedom 250. The last time I was hearing them saying they are going to be making $250 and putting your face with all the hardship, with all the stress, with all the struggles, with all the fuel scarcity, with all the war, with all the Epstein files, with all the things that people are going through, deportation, hunger, trial, everything, temptation. They want to put your face in $250. I wouldn't have been able to have that note in my hand. There is no way. I would prefer to be having $100 than to be having that amount in my hand with your face, because whenever I will see you, sir, I'm going to be seeing the pains you have caused. I'm going to be seeing the pains you have caused, because the pains you have caused America is affecting us as well in these African countries. We are reaping from that pains. We can't even afford fuel this time around. We can't even afford gas. Everything is just going pew, 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 because you choose to sleep. Wake up on the 29th of February. We are at war. It didn't end there. Now you want to celebrate something big. Now this man decided that he wants to celebrate, and he tagged it as Freedom 250. And a lot of activists were thinking they are coming to celebrate the 250 years of America freedom and the rest of that, not knowing that there is a MAGA agenda behind it. And the moment they notice, out of 9 artists, 7 cancelled. 7 cancelled on their own precedents. It simply means something is wrong. Not 2, not 3. 7 people out of 9. So it is only 2 that will perform. And the next thing that this man will say is, let's cancel it. And he brought out another story, cook up another story, and made it glorify. You know, he hates it when a lot of people try to see like you actually defeated him. So instead of you to defeat him, instead of the access to defeat him and be like, he said, let's cancel it, let's change it to another thing, let's turn it to rally, let's turn it to this, let's turn it to that. Sincerity is everything. People should know you for your words. Why are you bringing artists and you cannot tell them this is what you're coming to perform on? This is what we have in mind. This is, are you in or out? And you know, the funniest part is this orange man to keep saying that these artists don't even know how to sing very well. They don't even know how to do this. They don't even know how to do that. So he have to cancel. They don't know how to, but you sent them an invitation. They don't know how to, but you invited them. They don't know how to, but you were relying on them. It's that bad. And I wonder when all of these magas will keep shouting, I will vote. Vote down and through. Hey, I will vote. Vote my suffering. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Credits to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you. Liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. And now, bye guys. I love you guys.